everyone, I'm Zoe. This time I come back with a new trick identity about cosine, the cosine of sum of two angles. We had in previous video, we could show the sine of the sum of two angles. Today I'm working with cosine. Okay, before this one, I need to just repeat this one about the complementary angles. We know that we need to memorize of this one, just sine of 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. Because if we memorize this one, we can guess the other one, a cosine. For at the sine of 0 is equal to complementary angle of 0. It's cosine of 90. Sine of 30 is cosine of 60, 45, 45. Sine of 60, cosine of this one, 90, and 0. They are complementary to each other. It's very easy to know. And I told you, if we have two angles, this time we are talking about cosine. Cosine of this one, you know that this is adjacent side over hypotenuse. And this one is beta is somewhere else, this one over hypotenuse. But you need to some algebraic just operation to find this one, the cosine of alpha plus beta. But this, I'm not going to prove this one today. This is your homework. You can go and find this. Just know that this right triangle, small one, the alpha is equal to this one. That's why these two triangles are similar. By similarity, you can find many relationships. But back to cosine. We are going to find the cosine of the sum of two angles. What is for? This is, we use this one because sometimes we have an angle like 75 degrees. We are looking for cosine of 75 degrees, but 75 is not here. How can we do that? We can write 75 as addition of 30 and 45. Okay, what happened? Cosine of 75 is cosine of 30 plus 45. Agree? Okay. According to this one, if we have cosine of this angle plus this angle, is cosine of the first one times cosine of the second one. Cosine of the first one is cosine of 30 times cosine of 45. But be cautious about this one. If this is plus addition, you need to use subtract. You subtract this one. Okay, sine of the first one, cosine of sine of the second one. 45. Okay, how much is gonna be? Cosine of 75 equals to cosine of 30. We have cosine of 30. Cosine of 30 rad 3 over 2. Cosine of 45 rad 2 over 2 minus sine of 30 is half. Sine of 45 is rad 2 over 2. Simplify. Rad 3 times rad 2 over 4. We have the same denominator, okay, minus rad 2. This is the final answer. If you go to a test, if you have open book, it's okay. You can go and use something that they give you about the sine of cosine of 75. If you access to calculate the calculator, you can direct find this one cosine 75, or you can say rad 3, calculate rad 3 times rad 2 minus rad 2 divide by 4, or use calculator. Before using calculator, just go and adjust your mode. Mode must be on degree. Just mode must be degree because we use with degree. Okay, back and just cosine of 75 gets cosine of 75 gets something 0.25881 something, right? Good. Okay, how about cosine 15? Cosine 15 can be the difference between difference of these two, 60 and 45 or 45 and 30. Which one? We can say cosine 15 degree is, for example, cosine equals to cosine of 45 degree minus 30 degree, right? Okay, how much is gonna be? The difference is the same, but here is adding. Okay. Cosine of this one, cosine of that one, cosine of 45, cosine of 30. Here is minus, we use plus. Sine of 45 times sine of 30. How much is going to be? This one, cosine of 45 rad 2 over 2. Cosine of 30 rad 3 over 2. Right? Plus sine of 45 rad 2 over 2. Sine of half. The same denominator for rad 2 times rad 3 plus rad 2. Okay, find this one. Okay, it's enough when you don't have any access to calculator. If you have calculator, you can go and find cosine 15. Cosine 15 is 0.965. Actually, this is approximately 9 and so on. Okay, good. Okay, it was difference of this one, plus here, addition, minus here. But how about the cosine 120 degree? 120 degree, we can use 90 degree plus 30 degree gets this one. Or we can say cosine of 60 plus 60. It's good. What can we do here? 60 plus 60. Cosine of 60, cosine of 60 minus sine of 60, sine of 60. Cosine of 120 degree is cosine 60 times cosine 60. Can we write cosine square of 60 minus sine square of 60? Can we do that? Because it's cosine 60, cosine 60, cosine squared of this one. Cosine squared comes here. Okay. How much is going to be? Cosine squared, what is cosine of 60? Cosine of 60 is, half times half minus sine of 60 minus sine of 60 is rad 3 times rad 3, 3 over 2. Okay, this one is 1/4 minus rad 3 times rad 3 gets 3 over 4. 1/4 minus 3/4 gets negative 2/4, negative half. Okay, cosine 120 gets negative half. You know, the negative half can be negative 60 degrees, but negative half, why? The negative half means that the angle is, this is unit circle, you know. When cosine is negative, This is negative 1, 1. This is cosine of alpha. Yes? Negative half must be here. 120 is 90 and 30 here. Actually, the cosine is equal to 60, but this is 60 degree, the reference angle. This is cosine of 60 degree, yes? Cosine of 60 degree is half. But here is negative side. For cosine of 120 degree is equal to a negative of cosine of 60 degree. Okay, this one is negative 1 over half. Okay, great. But we can do something. This is the identity we got first, and we can add something, another identity about the double angle, like this one. We can say cosine of alpha plus alpha, alpha plus alpha, because we had the same thing. Cosine alpha plus alpha, we got cosine of alpha square root of alpha minus sine of square root of alpha. We could find another identity, trig. We call this trig identity. It is. Okay, this one we got this one. Good. If we call this double angle, actually cosine of, you can say cosine of double angle 2 alpha. Good. Hope you like this kind of calculation about trig identities, and please go and find here the algebraic and of this geometric form about this finding cosine of alpha plus beta. By doing this, then you can use this one, something here. What is this? What is that? And the final is for this angle. For this angle, actually the cosine is here. This is the adjacent side of this over this one. This is the final for cosine of alpha plus beta. This is your homework. Please do this. And hope you like this. And I wish you good luck. See you later. Bye.